Deep within the heart of a dense, foreboding forest stood an ancient temple, shrouded in mystery and steeped in darkness. It was said that in times long forgotten, the people who dwelled in these lands practiced the most unholy of rituals, sacrificing humans to appease their pagan gods. The whispers of lost souls and the cries of the condemned still echoed through the crumbling walls, warning all who dared to venture near. It was a moonlit night when a group of friends, driven by curiosity and a thirst for adventure, decided to explore the legends that surrounded the temple. Peter, a tall and brave young man, was the one who first proposed the idea, claiming that the stories were merely the fabrications of superstitious minds. His friends, Sarah, Mark, and Emily, were a mix of excitement and trepidation, their hearts filled with a blend of curiosity and apprehension. With backpacks filled with provisions, flashlights, and cameras, the friends embarked on their journey, determined to uncover the secrets that lay within the ancient temple's walls. The forest seemed to breathe heavily as they made their way through the tangled undergrowth, and a sense of unease settled upon them. After hours of wandering through the seemingly never-ending maze of trees, they finally caught sight of the temple's imposing silhouette against the backdrop of the night sky. Its dilapidated structure seemed to emanate an aura of malevolence, warning them to turn back. But the allure of the unknown was too strong to resist. As they stepped cautiously into the temple's crumbling entrance, a chilling wind whispered through the corridors, carrying the tormented echoes of forgotten souls. The air grew heavy with the weight of history, and a haunting silence enveloped them. The flickering beams of their flashlights revealed walls adorned with cryptic symbols and faded murals depicting gruesome scenes of human sacrifice. Sarah, the most skeptical among them, mustered the courage to break the silence. "This place gives me the creeps. Maybe we should go back," she suggested, her voice barely audible over the stifling atmosphere. Mark, the joker of the group, laughed nervously, attempting to lighten the mood. "Come on, Sarah, where's your sense of adventure? Let's see what's behind these ancient doors," he said, his voice trembling ever so slightly. Gingerly, they pushed open the creaking doors, revealing a chamber bathed in eerie moonlight. The floor was strewn with remnants of long-forgotten rituals, dried bloodstains and broken ceremonial artifacts. A shiver ran down Emily's spine as she sensed a presence in the room, an otherworldly energy that sent chills coursing through her veins. The friends exchanged uneasy glances, realizing they were no longer alone. Suddenly, a low, guttural chant filled the air, growing louder and more intense with each passing second. Panic seized their hearts as a swarm of ethereal apparitions materialized before them, their eyes burning with a malevolent glow. The demonic spirits of the sacrificed victims had been awakened, hungry for revenge on any who dared to disturb their eternal slumber. Peter, the stalwart adventurer, seized the moment, rallying his friends to run for their lives. But the spirits, fueled by centuries of rage, pursued them relentlessly, their ghastly wails echoing through the temple's dark corridors. Fear clawed at their hearts as they stumbled and tripped, their breaths ragged and desperate. One by one, the friends fell victim to the vengeful spirits, dragged down by invisible hands and torn apart with supernatural force. Their screams of terror were silenced by the malevolent echoes of the temple, swallowed by the eternal darkness that held the spirits captive. Only Peter remained, his strength and determination driving him forward despite the overwhelming odds. He pushed his body to its limits, navigating the treacherous corridors, desperately seeking an escape from the clutches of the temple's curse. The spirits, sensing their imminent victory, closed in on him, their grotesque forms emerging from the shadows, their claws reaching out to claim his soul. As Peter reached the temple's entrance, a blinding light engulfed him, banishing the spirits back into the abyss from whence they came. He stumbled out into the moonlit forest, gasping for breath, his body battered and bruised. Relief washed over him, but it was short-lived. The curse had taken its toll, and Peter's life force began to wane. He collapsed onto the cold forest floor, gazing up at the starry sky, his mind filled with the horrors he had witnessed. The weight of the temple's malevolence pressed down upon him, consuming his final breath. And as the darkness claimed him, his soul joined the chorus of the tormented spirits, forever trapped in the tale he had lived to tell. News of the friend's disappearance spread throughout the region, and rumors swirled of the haunted temple in the heart of the forest. Some dismissed the stories as mere legends, while others warned of the treacherous fate that awaited any who dared to venture near. The temple remained a place of darkness and despair, a testament to the unspeakable horrors that once took place within its walls. Years passed, and the memory of the ill-fated friends slowly faded from the collective consciousness. The temple stood forgotten, its secrets hidden away from the world. But fate has a way of drawing the curious and the foolhardy back to its sinister embrace. One stormy night, a group of thrill-seekers stumbled upon the legends of the haunted temple. Drawn by the allure of danger and the desire to uncover ancient mysteries, they decided to explore the forsaken place, unaware of the darkness that awaited them. The group consisted of Amy, a fearless and adventurous soul, Alex, a skeptic with a penchant for unraveling the truth, Rachel, a spiritual seeker in search of answers, and Jake, a thrill-seeker drawn to the macabre. Armed with modern technology and a healthy dose of skepticism, they ventured into the heart of the forbidding forest. The wind howled through the ancient trees, their branches clawing at the night sky. The storm intensified as they reached the temple's crumbling entrance, rain cascading down in torrents, obscuring their vision. The air crackled with an otherworldly energy, sending a chill down their spines. But the group pressed on, their curiosity overriding their fear. The interior of the temple had decayed further since Peter and his friends had last set foot there. The walls were covered in thick layers of moss, and the remnants of the ancient rituals lay scattered across the floor. The atmosphere was heavy with the weight of the past, as if the very air was saturated with the agony of forgotten souls. As they cautiously explored the temple, the storm outside intensified, thunder rumbling in the distance. Amy's excitement grew with each step, the thrill of the unknown driving her forward. But Alex couldn't shake the feeling of unease that settled deep in his gut. He noticed a faded mural on the wall, depicting the gruesome sacrifice of a young woman, her face contorted in anguish. Rachel, ever in tune with her spiritual senses, closed her eyes, attempting to connect with the energies of the temple. The visions that flooded her mind were grim and unsettling, revealing glimpses of the unspeakable atrocities that had taken place within these walls. Her breath hitched, and she struggled to maintain her composure. Jake, unfazed by the eerie atmosphere, pushed further into the temple's depths, seeking a hidden chamber rumored to hold the key to the temple's secrets. The others followed, their hearts pounding in their chests, their senses heightened by the encroaching darkness. Deep within the temple, they discovered a narrow passage concealed behind a fallen pillar. It led to a hidden chamber, bathed in an ethereal glow. The chamber was adorned with ancient symbols and statues, emanating an aura of power and mystique. In the center stood an altar, stained with the remnants of long-dried blood. A wave of foreboding washed over the group as they realized the significance of their discovery. They had stumbled upon the very place where the human sacrifices had taken place, where innocent lives had been snuffed out in the name of pagan gods. The weight of the temple's dark history bore down on them, threatening to consume their sanity. The storm outside reached its crescendo, rain pouring down in sheets, thunder crashing with an ear-splitting roar. Suddenly, the chamber grew eerily still, as if time itself had frozen. The air grew heavy, suffocating, and a chill swept through the room, causing the group to shudder. And then, the voices began. Whispers filled the chamber, carrying the lamentations of the sacrificed souls. The voices grew louder, more insistent, mingling with the howling wind and the rumbling thunder. The group huddled together, their faces pale with terror, their eyes wide with disbelief. A deep, resonant chant filled the air, echoing through the chamber, vibrating within their very bones. Shadows danced across the walls, taking on the forms of the tormented spirits that had once haunted this accursed place. The friends tried to flee, but an invisible force held them in place, rendering them helpless against the approaching darkness. One by one, the spirits materialized before them, their eyes blazing with an otherworldly fury. Their forms were distorted, their faces twisted into grotesque masks of pain and suffering. The friends screamed, their voices drowned out by the cacophony of spectral wails. Amy, the fearless adventurer, was the first to fall. She was torn apart by invisible forces, her body broken and lifeless. Alex, the skeptic, tried to rationalize the horrors unfolding before him, but reason crumbled in the face of the supernatural. He met the same grisly fate as his friend, his body ripped asunder by unseen hands. Rachel, the spiritual seeker, clutched her pendant, desperately calling upon higher powers for protection. But her pleas went unanswered as the spirits descended upon her, their ghostly claws tearing into her flesh. She fell to the ground, her life force drained, her spirit consumed by the malevolence that permeated the temple. Jake, the thrill-seeker, was the sole survivor. He watched in horror as his friends were mercilessly slaughtered, their blood staining the ancient altar. His mind reeled with disbelief and terror, his heart pounding in his chest. He knew he had to escape, to flee this cursed place before he met the same grisly end. With every ounce of strength left in him, Jake broke free from the invisible grasp that held him captive. He stumbled back through the corridors of the temple, his heart pounding in his ears, his breath ragged. The spirits pursued him relentlessly, their unearthly shrieks reverberating through the temple's ancient walls. Through sheer luck and desperation, Jake found himself back at the temple's entrance. The storm outside raged on, rain lashing at his face as he stumbled into the forest, his legs giving way beneath him. His mind was a whirlwind of horror and disbelief, his body battered and bruised. As he collapsed onto the wet forest floor, gasping for breath, Jake felt a profound sense of loss and despair. His friends, the people he had shared countless adventures and laughs with, were gone, taken by the darkness of the temple. He was the lone survivor, burdened with the weight of their memories and the tale of their tragic demise. But his respite was short-lived. The curse of the temple had taken hold, its grip tightening around his weakened body. The wounds inflicted by the spirits festered, his life force seeping away with every passing moment. Jake knew his time was running out, that death was inching closer with each labored breath. In his final moments, as the storm raged on and the forest whispered its ancient secrets, Jake mustered the strength to crawl to the nearest road. He knew he had to warn others, to prevent them from falling prey to the same darkness that had claimed his friends. A passing motorist found Jake, his body broken and his voice barely a whisper. He spoke of the temple, of the cursed spirits that dwelled within its walls, of the horrors that awaited those foolish enough to venture there. But his words were lost in the wind, swallowed by the night. And so, Jake succumbed to his injuries, his body giving in to the curse that had plagued the temple for centuries. His tale, a haunting warning etched into the annals of the region's folklore, would forever serve as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers that lurk in the darkest corners of the world. The temple stood silent once more, its secrets guarded by the tormented spirits that haunted its halls. The forest reclaimed its hold on the forsaken place, leaving behind only whispers and legends of the friends who dared to challenge the darkness and met a fate that would echo through eternity.